All right, I'll call this budget meeting to order. If we can please call the roll.
Mayor Bright Cruz,
Here.
Vice Mayor Jablonski,
Here.
Councilmember Albritton, present. Councilmember Hartman,
Here.
and Councilmember Kozinski.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Great, thank you. If you'll please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you all for coming out. Councilmember Albritton is on the phone. He had surgery yesterday, but is doing fantastic. Right, Jim? Back me up on that, huh?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. We're glad everything went well, and we're glad that you could join us this evening. Thank you for making that extra effort, because I know it's tough. All right, so this is our budget meeting, our second budget meeting, and we will kick it off with our administrative comments.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Welcome to the finish line.
Yeah,
Budget process that started back in February has seen the transition from one financial administrator to another has been absolutely seamless. So I want to thank the council for their support, their input throughout the process. And we started, talking about projects with you guys months ago to get to where we are tonight. So I want to thank you all for your input. Emil has stepped in, has done an outstanding job with the finance team behind him, department directors, and the rest of the staff. It is, as you've heard me say, frequently, a team effort. This is very much a team sport, and the staff, I think, did an outstanding job in getting us to where we are under the leadership of the council. So I want to thank you for that, members of the public, the advisory boards for their input throughout the process. And other than that, I'll turn it over to Emil for tonight's presentation.
awesome.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Andy. And thank you, Emil. We appreciate all that you and the staff has done to pull this together.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, the public, those who are watching. As the Minister Andy actually mentioned, without your support, without the support and the work that every team member of the town has actually contributed, every penny, every letter that has been put into the budget book. Very appreciative of their support. And just one piece of the puzzle, without their support and help, we wouldn't have been able where we are now. So going straight up into this final budget public hearing, there isn't any changes to the last one that was presented. So going into the first page, if you don't mind, Rich. Perfect. So basically, jump into the second one. How do we get here? It's pretty much, this is the calendar that we actually go by. This item is actually approved by council in January. And where we are today, we finally were able to, thanks to the assistant of the town clerk's office, we were able to advertise the final public hearing. And tonight, we're going into the millage rate, final millage rate for the fiscal year 22-23. As it was on the last meeting presented, what we are proposing as the final millage rate is 3.90. How do we get here? We pretty much went and utilized the directive and the guidance that was provided by council during the budget workshop, during communications with the town administrator, and we were to bring that from an original last year's adopted millage rate of 4.25 to a proposed 4.15 to a now final millage rate of 3.90. As presented and provided, how did we get to the 3.90? We went back into our books and we were able to find a reduction, a possibility of a reduction of the debt service payment. As I indicated previously, this savings or this utilization of debt service fund balance on a previous reduction or savings that was obtained due to financing on previous years has nothing to do with any plans that the town it's contemplated in fiscal year 2023. And again, if we wouldn't have been able to sustain this millage rate with the current operation, we wouldn't be supported of it. We're not using savings to cover for ongoing operations. This is essentially factual information that we were able to get a millage reduction through the debt service payment in contribution to the savings.
Wait, hold on just one second. Hey, Jim, you may want to put your phone on mute when you're not going to speak. Got it. Thank you.
And go to the next slide, please. So now here we pretty much where we are. This is a historical of what the millage rate has been. And the first three millage rate that is being pointed out into the graph indicate that those were inclusive of TSDAR millage rate, which for the last 2 years, including this one, the third one, are not being contemplated given the fact that contributions are being contemplated to be received from additional funding sources. This is a summary of what our residents will actually be looking at on their tax bill. Last year, it was a 17.21649 combined millage rate. This year, with the help of what the town is actually proposing as the final millage rate, is being reduced to 16.5403. Just for transparency, does not indicate that the town is the sole responsible for the reduction, but we are certainly a big part of it. This is in reference to the combined millage rate that I was making reference on the previous slide. Last year was 17.26449, and this year the residents will be assessed on a tax valuation bill at the 16.5403 rate. It's important, on the first one, we pretty much indicated went on a one by line item on the different points that were going to be discussed. We are suggesting and recommending the council to allow us to continue with the full presentation, since there's only 2 items into it, and then just do your final comments on both votes once we get to that.
That's fine. Thank you. We'll do that.
So this is the final budget being proposed. What has changed? Well, essentially, the main two items is basically the ad valorem revenue. As it's been indicated on the graphs, the 17,115,000. It's indicative of a reduction on the previous budget that was presented that included an increase in the millage rate of 4.15. This one is a reduction, does the reduction in the ad valorem portion of it. Something to make reference to is that the utilization, we are utilizing savings as part of the subsidy on the fire assessment of the plan, the proposed 3-year plan. So we're using 194,000, which is coming from appropriated fund balance column. That's the reduction. Those are the only 2 main changes to the ones that was originally presented to council and the public versus the one that has been finally proposed for the final budget. And this is how we have been able to allocate those funds, how we're going to spend it. Again, the reduction, the main reduction is associated to the pay for the debt service payment that is going from the original amount being proposed, over 800,000, to the now 417,000, a reduction of the 456,000 that was utilized for a reduction in the millage. And that,
Just a quick question.
yes,
What's the head count right now? What's our budgeted staff? Not hired, not working today, but what's our total number of employee slots?
17.
17.
Let me just
Thank you.
confirm that. Correct, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And this basically concludes our presentation. Should there have any comments or questions? And a vote is actually necessary for it.
Okay, why don't we read in item number 5 first, and then we'll,
Mayor, if you don't mind, can we read in items 5 and 6?
Okay.
Because everything can be
go
discussed
together.
together.
Okay, good.
Okay, item 5 is a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, approving and adopting the final millage rate for taxation of real property lying within the boundaries of the Town of Southwest Ranches for the fiscal year 2022 through 2023, commencing October 1st, 2022, and ending September 30th, 2023, providing for severability and providing for an effective date. Item number 6 is an ordinance on second reading. This is an ordinance of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, approving the budget of the Town of Southwest Ranches for fiscal year 2022 through 2023, commencing October 1st, 2022, and ending September 30th, 2023, providing for a budget basis, providing for expenditure of funds, providing for carryover of funds, providing for notice, providing for severability, providing for conflict, and providing for an effective date.
Great, thank you, Russell.
Motion to approve both.
We have a motion
Second.
to approve both, and then we have a second. All right. Council, any comment on either of these two items?
I'll just lead off. Emil, your team did a great job. I know it's everybody that's included in it, but you've carried the ball that Marty handed you very well, and we look forward to a real long-lasting relationship. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Gary.
Good job.
Just a quick one. I know when we were reviewing the budget, I had some ideas on how I'd like to see some of the reporting when we do year-over-year analysis, and I think you shared some of the ideas that, you liked some of the ideas, so we have plenty of time. Give you 6 months, then we start again. But the goal is to make the budget process more meaningful for everybody so we can see trends rather than just year over year for 2 years. So, but phenomenal job. I'm glad to see the Eagle has survived. Rich and the entire town team, I want to thank you and Emil for doing a great job on this. I mean, it's not easy to go through this process. I've been through it 4 times here now, and everybody has to give a little to get a little bit, and to continue moving forward the important projects. So, thank you, everybody.
Great, thank you, Bob. David?
That's just thank you very much. Good job.
Very good. Hey, Jim, do you have any comments?
I'd just like to reiterate, thank you very much. I've really enjoyed this time.
Great, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, you all have already said it, but we really appreciate the entire staff that did a great job. I know the contribution from all the boards on up through the different departments, all through to finance, bringing it all together, and then putting together a presentation that is easy to understand and the residents can get involved. So, job well done. Thank you. All right, any public comment?
Do we need to move the microphone so that people can hear Jim on YouTube Live? Probably Russell.
Noah Hollingsworth, 199th Avenue. I think he did a good job on the first shot. But as Bob was stating, I'd like to see a little bit more detail, especially within the departments. Just looking at the fire department, need to break out the volunteer costs and the regular fire department costs a little bit better. And also within the parks, all the different events that we have, I'd like to see a cost of each one of those, maybe in an appendix page at the end of the Parks Department, saying, you know, you have the total here for all of the different events. There may be a list saying that we have the horse show and we have the this truck thing and we have this and we have that, you know. And so, and maybe in the other departments the same way. Some of the things broke down a little bit better. So instead of we have these puddles of money, I had to say that.
You had to say it. You had to say
So now
it.
you've heard it. Because I just like the puddles of money. And I'd like to see it broke down a little bit better in the future. And I say that every year, so.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Noel. It's a good suggestion. Seeing no other public comment is closed. Any other council comment? Seeing none. We want to have two separate votes on this? Yeah, okay, so let's have a vote on item number 5, please.
Councilmember Albritton? Yes. Councilmember Hartman?
Yes.
Councilmember Kozinski?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Bright Cruz?
Yes.
Motion passes. Item number 6, Councilmember Albritton? Yes. Councilmember Hartman?
Yes.
Councilmember Kozinski?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jablonski?
Yes.
Mayor Bright Cruz?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Russell, the phone here, do we need to move a microphone over so that they can hear him in YouTube land, or is there anything special we need to do?
We can do that, or we can raise the gain on the volume. Let me take a look at the volume on it.
All right, well, we can do that when we
Yeah.
want.
When we switch
Between meetings,
I
yeah.
just want to make sure everybody can hear Jim's comments.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. All right, so we will take about a 40-minute break, and we will start our regular council meeting at 7 PM. Thank you.